കൊടുക്കാൻ പറ്റില്ല. അതുപോലെ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ പേപ്പർ നിങ്ങൾ കുറച്ച് നേരത്തെ ഡൗൺലോഡ് ചെയ്യുക. ഇപ്പൊ 10 o'clock എക്സാമിനേഷന് 9 o'clock മുതൽ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ പേപ്പേഴ്സ് ഓൺലൈൻ അവൈലബിൾ ആയിരിക്കും. അപ്പൊ നിങ്ങൾ ലാസ്റ്റ് മിനിറ്റ് വരെ വെയിറ്റ് ചെയ്യാതെ നേരത്തെ ഡൗൺലോഡ് ചെയ്ത് വെക്കുക. എന്നിട്ട് പ്രിന്റ് ഔട്ട് എടുക്കണത് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് നിങ്ങളുടെ കൺവീനിയൻസിന് എടുക്കാൻ പറ്റും. അതൊന്ന് നോക്കുക. കാരണം ലാസ്റ്റ് ടൈം ആയിട്ടുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ നമ്മൾ വെറുതെ എക്സാം 10 മിനിറ്റ് 15 മിനിറ്റ് ഒക്കെ വെറുതെ ഡിലേ ആവും. അതിൻ്റെ ഒരു കൺഫ്യൂഷൻ അവോയ്ഡ് ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടിയാണ്. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ കഴിഞ്ഞ പ്രാവശ്യമൊക്കെ കുറച്ച് സ്റ്റുഡൻസ് ഒന്ന് നമ്മൾ അറിഞ്ഞിരുന്നു, ചില കുട്ടികൾ പണ്ടത്തെ ഒരു ടൈപ്പ് കോപ്പി അടിയൊന്നും അല്ല കുട്ടികൾ ഇപ്പോൾ നോക്കുന്നത്. ഒത്തിരി ഇലക്ട്രോണിക് ഡിവൈസ് എല്ലാം വെച്ചിട്ട്. അപ്പോൾ അതൊന്ന് കെയർ എടുക്കുക. പിന്നെ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ആൻസർ ഷീറ്റ് ഡെസ്പാച്ച് ചെയ്യേണ്ട ഡീറ്റെയിൽസ് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് അറിയാം. രാവിലെ നടക്കുന്ന എക്സാമിനേഷൻ്റെ ആൻസർ ഷീറ്റ് ഉച്ചയ്ക്ക് ഡെസ്പാച്ച് ചെയ്യുക. ആഫ്റ്റർനൂൺ സെഷൻ്റെ ആൻസർ ഷീറ്റ് നെക്സ്റ്റ് ഡേ മോർണിംഗ് ഡെസ്പാച്ച് ചെയ്യുക. അത് നിങ്ങൾ സാധാരണ ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ തന്നെ ചെയ്യുക. അതൊക്കെയാണ് മെയിൻലി പ്രാവശ്യം എക്സാമിനേഷൻ്റെ ഇതുള്ളത്. അപ്പോൾ സ്ട്രേ കാൻഡിഡേറ്റ്സിന് ഒരു കാരണവശാലും അലൗഡ് അല്ല. നിങ്ങളുടെ സെൻറ്ററിൽ അലോട്ട് ചെയ്ത സ്റ്റുഡൻസിനെ മാത്രം പെർമിറ്റ് ചെയ്യുക. അല്ലാത്ത സ്റ്റുഡൻസ് അത് നിർബന്ധം പിടിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ അവരോട് പറയുക, അങ്ങനെ എഴുതുന്ന കുട്ടികളുടെ ആൻസർ റിസൾട്ട് ഡിക്ലെയർ ചെയ്യില്ല എന്ന് സ്ട്രിക്ട്ലി ഹെഡ് ക്വാർട്ടേഴ്സിൽ പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഓക്കെ, താങ്ക് യു.
Thank you very much, sir. Now I call upon Shri K.J. Joseph, Assistant Registrar, to share about the guidelines for handling the advance given and the final settlement for the conduct of examination. Over to Shri K.J. Joseph.
Thank you, madam. Good afternoon to all. As you know, there is no change in the term and examination payment norms. As usual, every year we are giving the same rate only. There is no change in the only guidelines only. I want to repeat again. While preparing the bills, you have to be taken some questions for submitting the bills. Mainly, kindly refrain from all handling cash and bill without a GST number. Kindly book each invigilator separately but cumulatively including all sessions. Kindly book each voucher separately for each session. Kindly verify the PAN card and Aadhaar number for all the officials involved in exam work and retain a photocopy along with their biodata with the photograph in a file at your end. Do not use any officials of their close kith and kin are writing in the examination. Please specify the serial number correctly so that tallying is easy while consolidating the amount for each claim or individual. Please specify the officials involved in alphabetic order with the same spelling in all sheets so that tallying is easy while consolidating the amount for each claim or individual for each of the designation. In other words, for each category or cadre of the officials, let it be specified orderly, center superintendent, etc., followed by the invigilator and subsequently other cadre, ending with the housekeeping staff, along with the remuneration, number of sessions claimed. In short, indicate the name of the individual, the designation, admissible remuneration, number of sessions claimed before specifying the candidate's amount, consolidated amount for an individual. This is because the total number of sessions for specific cadre is possible to be allotted to more than one individual. If the same person is engaged across the different cadre, like invigilator and other relieving invigilator, indicate the names consecutively indicating the different cadre together, not in different pages. It is also recorded that the disbursement of the money may please be ensured with a receipt and the preferred mode of transfer. Check in compliance to the digital money policy of the Government of India. Kindly indicate the check number each of the receipt or voucher. Check issue register may please be maintained. Self-check may please be refrained. The cash book has to be written highlighting the check leaf issued as per the checkbook. The receipt and payment voucher to be numbered and to be shown in cash book against the receipt and payment column. The individual vouchers are also needed to be present physically to verify the cash book during time of audit. Please put entry of the passbook upon receipt of the communication related to the release of advance and before signing the check. While consolidating the postal expenditure, kindly give a description is that the date, the amount for each of the postal receipt before consolidating the total amount instead of just specify the consolidated amount. on session wise. Please indicate the consolidated statement appendix 26 so that the claim is double checked at your end and there is no disallowed amount due to duplicate or wrong claim. PAN number has to be given for deducting 10% tax exceeding 30,000. Without furnishing PAN number, as per rules, 20% tax has to be deducted. Please specify the check number or NEFT transaction number and the date in which the vouchers while settling the individual bills. Utilization of certificate has to be submitted upon settlement of the advance. The receipt from the host institution for accepting the rental charges remitted has to be enclosed. Seating arrangement split for consolidated amount in terms of individual should be specified. Kindly adhere the government policy of digital money handling by resorting to NEFT or check payment. These are the guidelines mainly we have to intimate to you all. Thank you very much, madam. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, Shri KJ Joseph. Actually, the team that is Shri Joseph, Shri Muralidharan, and Madam Manju have done the need to remit the advance and they have given it to the bank. So by the end of the day, I think it will be credited into the individual study center or examination center account. Now I request Dr. Prasita Unnikrishnan to share about the help desk during examination with a special reference to the differently abled learners. Actually, this is mainly highlighted after the various RTI queries of whether we are having help desk. Actually, the best way to help the strangers, that is the learners who are coming to our examination center, is to tell the security if some strangers, mainly they won't have any ID card other than displayed on their attire. So that is the only way we can find out that they are not our host institution learners. And maximum is their restroom facilities, the water facilities, and where they can park the car. All that may be guided at the entrance. Now over to Dr. Prasita. Thank you, ma'am. So very good evening to all of you. I'm sure with your cooperation, the examinations will be conducted very smoothly. So one of the very important components is assisting those with assisting those students who are differently abled or who have some incapacities due to which they are not able to move normally or function normally. So many a times we do happen that we have such students and they need to be facilitated appropriately at your end as well. And I'm sure you all are doing it because many of the centers I've already seen that they are being facilitated nicely. But just ensure that they are given the ground floor or they have a separate in which they are seated appropriately and they have, like madam said, they should be a ramp facility in your center wherein they can easily move their wheelchair to the premises, or a lift facility for these students, and they should not be incapacitated in any aspect as far as your examination center is concerned. I'm sure there are some students who are visually impaired and they might need a, or hearing impaired, they might need a scribe facility. So they will come with their scribes. So you all must be knowing that any person who has 40% or more disability, they can take the assistance of a scribe and the scribe facility, and you also have to give them extra time and to write the examinations. Like for 1 hour it is 20 minutes, so for a 2-hour examination you have to give 40 minutes extra, and for a 3-hour examination at least 1 hour extra has to be given to such candidates. So that is a very important point, because many times we may not be aware. The exam center superintendents, especially, they should direct their staff that extra time, at least for 1 hour, needs to be given for the 3-hour paper, and for the 2-hour paper it should be 40 minutes. So these are some basic guidelines, and I'm sure with your support, the students of the differently able will be facilitated appropriately at your end. And just as Madam instructed, the security guard should also be aware that when the students arrive at your campus, they have to be directed appropriately to the concerned examination center, and they have to be seated according to their convenience as well. So thank you once again for listening to me patiently. Next session is of of Shri J. Tirumurugan sir, and he will be speaking about information about jurisdiction for sending answer scripts to Regional Evaluation Center Cochin for examination centers under Regional Center Cochin, and he would also be sharing the guidelines for the exam center superintendent. So just I hand over to the next resource person.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, sir, madam. I am Tirumurugan, Deputy Registrar, working in Regional Evaluation Center, Cochin. These instructions are repeated in nature, but still the mistakes are happening every year as usual. So I request you to follow this instruction carefully and kindly instruct the examinees to follow it properly. The first one is in the attendance sheet, the invigilator has to check properly whether the learner is signing against his name or not. This is quite common mistakes done by several examinees. For example, the name will be Xavier and Francis Xavier. The Xavier will sign against the Francis Xavier, and the Francis Xavier won't sign. Uh, at last, sometimes it will be blank, or sometimes the Xavier will be treated as absent. So, to avoid all this confusion, I request the invigilator to check before completion of the examination whether all the examinees signed against his name or not, his her name. So this is very, very important, and if it is followed properly, then it will reduce a lot of issues at our end. And in the attendance sheet, sometimes it will be blank in some cases. It should not be blank at any cost. It has to be filled either present or absent against the individual's name. Again, the attendance has to be tallied with the total present and absent. There should not be any mismatch with the total present and absent cases. It is the duty of the invigilator to ensure that the learner is writing correctly about the answer script serial number in the attendance sheet. Sometimes here also the examiners are doing some mistakes with regard to writing the serial number of the answer script in the attendance sheet. So it is better to make sure that the examinee is writing correctly the serial number of the answer script. If the learner is absent, the invigilator has to mark the absent with red pen against the absentee. red pen is very important. With reading only, we can calculate easily how many absentees are there or not. So with that, we will calculate easily at our end. The exam center superintendent has to ensure that the absentee statement has to be attached with the covering sheet. Most of the exam centers we used to receive properly. There is no issues at all. But this has to be followed properly. It is the duty of the invigilator to instruct the learner that she is properly writing his enrollment number or not. So this is another major area where mistakes are happening quite commonly. For example, suppose the number is 25000. What they used to write sometimes, if it is a 000 means they used to write 20 only instead of 000. Or sometimes last 990 means sometimes they will put 90 only. These are the mistakes happening every time. And for this purpose, we are deputing more than 10 people to check each and every answer script thoroughly. Otherwise, the result will come with a asterisk. So at the later stage, it is very difficult to trace it out, whose result is pending and why it is pending like that. So we are at the initial stage. So it is better to check the examiner is writing correctly his enrollment number or not. So it's very, very important. Please insert before opening the each and every examination. Again, one more instruction for the invigilator, that the examiner is writing his enrollment number in words also. There is a column for numerical and words. Both has to tally with each other, so that there will not be any mismatch between the number and words. But in some cases, they used to write in down, it will be blank, or instead of 9 digits, they used to write something they will write. So it has to be avoided, because this is very, very important with regard to consolidating the results at our end. It is the duty of the invigilator to instruct the learner she is properly writing his answer book serial number in the attendance sheet. The answer book serial number to be written properly in the attendance sheet. Again, in some cases, these mistakes are also happening, but most of the examiners are writing correctly. However, it is our duty to follow the instruction. Examination center code is important. Day and date, this is also important. Program code, for example, BACH, BAECH, or whatever it is, they have to write correctly. Course code also, they should write properly. And whatever the course code registered, only that course code they have to write. In some cases, sir, I have written this course code, sir, that course code, sir, please you check, sir. All those things, it cannot be considered at our end. So the examinee has to write the proper course code. Course code is very, very important for each and every examinees. Kindly instruct the examinees to write the correct course code, day and date, and course title, okay. Course title, whatever it is, they have to write. And the medium is very, very important. It should be either in English or Hindi. If it is not written anything else, then sometimes if the examiner has written the paper in Hindi, and if not written the medium in the answer script front page, then if it goes to the evaluator who is familiar with only English, then it will not be validated the paper at all. So the medium is very, very important. They have to write correctly. Each and every cell in the front page of the answer script should be written properly, thoroughly, correctly. At last, signature of the examinee, signature of the invigilator, seal of the central superintendent with the central code. These three are very important. Again, the medium should be written clearly, either English or Hindi. Sometimes this is also happening every time, every session we are facing the issues. For example, uh, the examiners may assume that our paper will be validated if they are writing. They may be comfortable with the Malayalam or Tamil or whatever the languages they are familiar. They used to write the script in their own mother tongue. But kindly instruct each and every examiners, it will not be validated at all. So it should be either English or Hindi. That's all. Instances I have noticed that the examinees left some answer sheet and started written the answers, leaving 2 or 3 pages blank. Sometimes it will not be noticed by the evaluator. This is also sometimes it's happening. The examinees may think that, for example, the examinee may started writing first question, okay, and the second question he may be not comfortable, and keeping 2 3 pages blank, then started writing the third question. The examiners may assume that okay, at the end of the session, we may start writing the answer for the second question. So they'll keep blank. Then started writing after 3 or 4 pages. They may start writing the answers for the third question. Now what happens? The evaluator will check. Okay, first question they have written answer. Okay, they will put one, and he will close the particular paper. He cannot assume that there will be some answers at the end of the paper. So most of the evaluators will check properly. However, sometimes it will happen. So if the examinees are keeping blank, they should write something PTO or whatever it is, something. It should not be kept blank at any cost. If it is kept blank, then later stage it is very difficult for us, or very difficult from the evaluator side to re to check to re-evaluate or check again the same paper. It is quite difficult. So at the initial stage itself, the examinees should mark thoroughly, properly. If it is kept blank, means they have to put dash, then PTO or something. Then only they have to write, go to the other pages. So this is very, very important, and a lot of examiners, learners struggled against this issue, and they started writing several emails to us. Everyday dispatch should be done. It should be sent through the institute speed post. No parcel service post or no private courier. Hope everyone knows this. And as usual, here it's a rainy season everywhere. So waterproof packing is must. Please pack preferably with the polythene cover. And again, UFM cases, part A and part B, to be furnished properly with the reason along with the answer script and document. This is very important. So sometimes part A will be filled or part B will not be filled, whatever the reason. Last time we had queries from one study center, and we are ready to take such calls in case of any clarification required. Wherever we will ready to help, no issues. But the part A, part B has to be filled properly. This is our request only. If any question paper left over, balance question paper, please pack with the answer scripts. It will be helpful for us in, while sending to the evaluator. Thank you, each and every exam center superintendent and invigilators. Thank you all. Thanks for this opportunity. I thank Dr. J.S. Dorothy Madam, Senior Regional Director, and Deputy Director Dr. Prasita Unikrishnan Madam, and all other IGNOU coaching officials. Thank you so much for following. Thank you.
Do you have any other queries?